Hello and welcome to episode 1 of creating your own note block songs in survival Minecraft. My name is MoatsArt and I will be explaining the mechanics behind note block songs, how they work, and how to create your own, whether it be by ear or using sheet music even, without the use of programs like Noteblock Studio. If you're playing on a survival server, then you're going to want to know how to do this kind of stuff. So let's begin. Now, a lot of these mechanics I'm going over today can be found on the Minecraft wiki for note blocks, so I will put a link to that in the description below, as well as a couple images from the wiki on the screen as I describe the mechanics. One more thing I wanted to mention before we get started is that note blocks have many other applications besides just note block songs. You can use these for doorbells or timers or activation sounds. Whatever you guys want, you can link these up via Redstone, which we'll get into in later episodes. So for now, let's get started with the mechanics. Now, as this is episode 1, I'm going to go over the basic mechanics of note blocks. If you're familiar with the basics, you may want to move on to one of the more advanced episodes coming up regarding rhythm or arranging. But for starters, you're going to need to know how to craft a note block. It uses planks, just like a chest, with redstone in the center. As you can see, redstone or note blocks are quite an expensive block to make. When you place it down, you can left click to hear what note it's currently producing. So you can activate it by clicking on it, or you can activate it via a redstone current, which will come in handy later when we get into the more advanced topics of actually stringing them together for a song. You can change the pitch by right clicking. We'll raise each note by a semitone. So you're going from F sharp to G sharp, etc. As you can see, the note blocks have quite a range. It's got 2 octaves, and then it loops around back to its starting note of F sharp. Now you can change the sound or the timbre that is produced by what block is underneath it. So if we place a note block here on wood, it gives us a bass guitar. If you place it on sand or gravel or even soul sand, will give us a snare. If you place it on glass, you'll get a click. And any other block type, including air blocks, as you can see here, will produce the standard harp sound. Sorry guys, one quick edit. I forgot to mention, if you place stone underneath the note blocks, you will get a bass drum or a kick drum sound. That'll be very useful when it comes to percussion later. Now, it's important to understand that in order for the note block to create a sound, it must have an air block above it. So as you can see, if I strike the block, it makes a sound, but if there's a block above it, it won't make any noise at all. So that being said, you also have to consider that torches would take up that air block. It's very common for people to forget. Say they've got their note blocks right up against a wall and they're trying to light up the area with torches. You can see that the torch actually takes up the air block and won't allow it to make its sound. So keep that in mind when creating your songs in survival. So I know this was kind of a short episode, but I think it's very important to understand the basic mechanics of note blocks if you're going to be composing and creating your own songs in survival. So if you like this episode, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to keep up to date on my future projects coming up. We'll have more tutorials regarding survival note blocks, as well as note block song tutorials, and possibly even some more gameplay from the Mumbo Jumbo Patreon server. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.